Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover a Lego set, and probably one of the coolest Lego sets that had ever been created in my opinion. This Lego set happens to be from the space set, the Legoland space set. Mine instruction manual here's got a bit of a rip in it, that's okay. It's number 1498. So you can see he's got some really cool looking artwork here with a robot kind of walking through the sand of possibly the moon, could be Mars, could be Venus, not really sure where he's walking from. And the back of it is just the instructions. Now the instructions on these guys, really neat. I do like how the instructions were always made on these. They're very simple, like you had part 1 here, 2, and you would follow just on the one side all the way down to pretty much part 7 there, and then you would follow the other bits all the way from part 8 to part 11. Have you noticed this guy's got a lot of different cool little bits that he has? And then part 12 here, you're just kind of putting the two pieces together, and I like the fact that you have to do this times 2 right here. You have to do this twice. One is in one direction, one is in the other. But it's cool that they show one there, and then they make you flip it over here and do the other half. And then put the arms on, and then assemble the head, and then bam, you put the head on the little robot dude. And this guy's probably one of the coolest, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to small Lego builds that were very simple and just kind of get the point across. As you can see, he's a very neat looking little robot. And he does have a lot of articulation, especially for such a small kit. The cool thing about him is he kind of has a bit of a fold-up mode, where you can just kind of fold his legs up and then set him down. What's cool about this is this makes this a little more accessible for little spacemen. I have one of my little yellow spacemen here, one of the original ones from back in the day. You can tell because he's missing all the gold on his chest, but that's okay. I still love him anyway. But it makes it that way it's easier for him to access and program the robot. And that's what I really liked about this robot, is the fact that this thing had a lot of different little computer panels that were built on him. It does have these little legs here that move back and forth due to these awesome hinges. And then he's got these little boosters here on the back. And he's got one of the coolest, as far as I'm concerned, Lego computers ever created was this one. I'm such a fan of this thing. I love the fact that these things have been inverted as well. It's cool that this is just like a standard console, and then it's got a bit of a little tech readout kind of going on here on the front. And then the head itself is on a little bit of a swivel. It only goes so far. Mine's a little stiff because it's old, but you can spin it all the way around if you really wanted to. It's probably because I pushed it in too tight. I mean, this being Lego, you can take these things completely apart, but I do like the fact he's got two little green eyes, and then these little antennas here, you can emote, you can move them up and down. And you can think maybe these are just little control panels and such. I do like that about him. His arms have like a little swivel here, it goes all the way around, and the arm actually comes out all the way and then folds out, which is nice because this guy's got a good compact size, so he can actually be stored probably in one of the starships. I don't have any of the huge starships, but this guy's plenty for me. And I do like the fact that he happens to have even more of the control panels here on the sides. You don't get anything like this anymore with Lego when it comes to the designs of it having so many prints, because this thing comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prints, which is really neat. Back in the day, these didn't actually retail for too much either. These were probably about a $7 set or something like that back in the day. It was very neat. He does happen to have a little booster thing here on the back, which you can probably use it as a camera if you wanted to, but it's kind of a little positional booster here. He does happen to come with some people call this the sensor, some people call this the little laser gun, but you can put this successfully in his little hand as well. So you can uses kind of pretty much for anything. You can have it so maybe he's scooping up bits and pieces off the ground to analyze them. It could be what he's doing, or you know, you can put it this direction here as if you want him to use this as a kind of like a little gun if you wanted to, like a little laser gun, or you can use it as a flashlight. You know, space is dark. So there's all different little things you can do with the little attachment here. And like I said, since these are Lego, you can kind of pretty much put them anywhere. But that's one thing I do like about this guy. And the fact that these are designed like they are, you can kind of position the hand with a little claw hand any direction. And this is where simplicity is like sometimes the best way of going with these types of toys. And he did happen to come with a wrench as well. Now this wrench is very, very common nowadays, but back in the day it was really unique to get an actual tool. And this tool's got a bit of a little pry bar kind of thing here, which I've actually used this to like pry apart Lego back in the day because we didn't have the pry apart pieces. So these would actually work really well for that. And what else is cool is these actual little wrenches here will fit onto a stud. So you're able to just kind of, you know, attach it. So if you want to, you can make this that way. Maybe he's got a chiseling mechanism here. So if you wanted to put this here on his arm, you can give him a bit of a chisel instead of it just being a wrench. You can use it so that way he's like maybe chiseling away rocks or whatever. And that's what's very neat about the 1498 robot. This set is amazing. It's probably one of the cooler sets out of the Lego line as far as I'm concerned. This thing has a really, really near and dear place in my heart because I've had this thing for, I can't even remember how long, and he is probably one of my favorite Lego sets. I do have several other ones I'm going to be going over here in the future, but this guy is very neat. I do like the fact that, you know, he didn't come with a little spaceman, but, you know, he didn't really need one because he was his own little character. And he does have some very unique pieces. He even has these little parts here where a lot of people would use for like steering wheels or whatever for like jet cruisers and such. And if you wanted it, you know, you can literally just take him completely apart and have him turn it into pretty much anything else. And this guy had quite a few different little things on the back of the instruction, or not the instruction sheet, but the boxes itself, to show you different ways to build him. But I personally actually like his main build because his main build is just really neat. It's a very cool little robot, and the fact that it kind of has a bit of a compact, like, fold down method where, you know, maybe he's just being, you know, maybe he was just dropped off from one of the spaceships and the little space guy has to come over here and program him to get him to start up, kind of like, you know, the little space guys they had in Lost Space, the Robbie the Robot in Lost in Space, you know. Everybody loves the aspect of having a robot in space, and this is one thing I absolutely love. I'm big into these, and this is kind of where, to me, Lego shined when they did this, because this is showing the fact that you're using your imagination with a character that has no actual characterization. You don't have some blueprint telling you who he is or what he does. You just kind of make up your own little story, and that's one thing I absolutely loved about the old space sets. I love these so much because it kind of had that Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon feel, that it was the unknown. Nobody knew anything about space, and we still, honestly, to this day, know very little. And it's very cool to see just the aspects of how many pieces this little set has and how much you can do with it to just really create your own world. You don't actually have to have like an actual story for him. He kind of writes his own story by just looking at him, what he does, what he's programmed to do, how is he supposed to fight the elements with, you know, being a robot and such, and what does he do to, like, survive? Because, you know, survival was the biggest thing in space, and that's one thing I think a lot of people have kind of shied away from, is how we get through all this stuff, and what we do to get through it. But anyway, this has been Plasticon. This is yet another crazy little review of Lego sets, because I love Lego as well. And I'll see you guys around, because I have plenty more coming your guys' way. And that's it for now. Bye!